Hey guys, it's Curse Mark Reed here. As you see, this is going to be my NCAA pick'em for the week. I would have a co-host and we would have another beautiful coastal Georgia backdrop, but the co-host never showed up. I'm not going to sit that there on my own speaking to a camera and look like a total retard. not saying anything, but yeah. I called him at 3:30 this afternoon and he told me that he would be down in an hour. He's cleaning guns to go hunting. I'm a stupid redneck. I'm gonna go shoot a deer. I hate hunting season. It's so stupid in my opinion. But that's for a different time. I'll do a rant video maybe later. But this is NCAA Pick'em. If this ever happens again, I'm going to have a co-host via Skype. So PM me your Skype name if you would like to do this with me. I think it would be fun. Just do it with other people instead of just me and people I know. But let's go ahead and get to the games for Saturday, October 16th, 2010. We start off with the new number 1 seed, Ohio State, at number 18, Wisconsin. These two are both good teams. Wisconsin lost to Michigan State, which is another good team. But I think Ohio State, Terrell Pryor, will run the field. Wisconsin, I don't think will stop them. Ohio State wins this. And still, they stay number 1. Number 2 this week is off, so we jump to number 3 Boise State at San Jose State. If you saw our last week video, we just tore apart Boise State. I don't like them. They're too ranked up, and they're in a cupcake league. They're playing San Jose State, who is 1-5. It's going to be a big win for them, but they're in a cupcake league. They should not be up there. I don't care if they play Virginia Tech. They barely beat Virginia Tech, and Virginia Tech lost to James Madison the next week. I don't like Boise State, as you can tell. BYU at number 4 TCU. TCU is a very powerful team. They've been up there in the top 4 or 5 past 2 years, I think. I think they'll beat BYU this week. Texas at number 5 Nebraska. Now this is a controversial one. Texas is one of the teams that is not looking for, but is in danger of losing a 3rd straight game this year. The other one will be in Florida, but we'll get to Florida later. Nebraska is a very powerful team. Saw it last year, see it this year. Texas has seen better days. I think Nebraska kills them. Although I have a bunch of people telling me Texas will come back on Nebraska, I think Nebraska is going to kill them. Iowa State at number 6 Oklahoma. Oklahoma is still powerful, even when they play the national championship. They're still not as good as they were then, but they're still very, very good. They beat Iowa State. Because they beat Iowa State, they score more points. Yeah, I hate when I do that. I'm sorry, guys, but when I get somebody else talking with me, I don't do that as much. Alright, number 12 Arkansas at number 7 Auburn. A good SEC rivalry matchup. I'm going to do upset alert here. Arkansas will beat Auburn. I have the gonads to say that. Arkansas almost beat Alabama, and then they lost another game. No, they only lost to Alabama. They fell in the rankings. They're almost back to the top 10. Auburn is looking good, but I think Arkansas will upset them tomorrow. Next up, we have Mississippi at the new number 8 Alabama. Alabama wins this. Mississippi is nothing. Alabama wins it. They come back from losing against South Carolina. Who loses South Carolina? Really? But, yeah. I hate when I do that. McNeese State at number 9 LSU. LSU equals blowout city in this one. Beating Florida last week when Florida actually got their act together. But then there were some bad calls, and the refs made a bunch of bad calls late in the game to give LSU the win. I think Florida should have beat LSU, but I think LSU beats McNeese State this week. Number 10 South Carolina at Kentucky. I'm going to pick South Carolina here, but I'm going to put them on an upset alert. Kentucky has the way to keep a game close. They keep it close with Auburn all the way through, and it's going to be a close game to the end, but I think South Carolina pulls it out. Kentucky's going to give them a good game, but South Carolina pulls it out in the end. Number 11, Utah at Wyoming. Utah wins it. Utah's been looking good. South Carolina jumped them because they beat number 1. But I think Utah's looking good this season. They'll beat Wyoming. Enough said. Illinois at number 13, Michigan State. This is another upset for me. I think Illinois will beat Michigan State. You saw Illinois lose by a touchdown, I think, to Ohio State, the then number 2, now number 1 team. Then they came back and won the next game, and now they're coming into Michigan State. I'm going to put them on upset alert. Illinois will beat Michigan State. Number 15, Iowa at Michigan. Michigan lost to Michigan State last week. Iowa is a very powerful team. I like Iowa in this one. I don't think Michigan gets their act together anytime soon. Boston College at number 16, Florida State. Boston College has seen better days with Matt Ryan. Florida State's looking better since they lost to Oklahoma early in the season. They came back and beat Miami last week. I like Florida State in this one. Number 17, Arizona at Washington State. Arizona got upset last week, but I don't think they lose to Washington State this week. Washington State's not look good. They're 1-5. Arizona's at 4-1. I think Arizona beats them. Number 19, Nevada at Hawaii. Nevada hadn't been ranked since 1947. I'm going to say again, as I said last week, they keep the train rolling. They beat Hawaii. But it's gonna be a close game here. They're both Nevada's 6-0, Hawaii's 4-2. It's gonna be a close game. Oklahoma State at Texas Tech. Number 20 Oklahoma State, I should say. Oklahoma State, they were unranked and they're ranked again. I think they beat Texas Tech here, but I think it's gonna be a close game. Number 21, Missouri at Texas A&M. Another close game, but Missouri pulls it out in the end. Missouri's seen better days, but they're looking better since they had earlier in the season. Mississippi State at number 22, Florida. It's homecoming week. My Uncle Sam is going to this game. I'm picking Florida because I don't think they look way better than they did early in the season. They looked way better last week against LSU. They should have won that game. But I don't think they come in and lose to Mississippi State on homecoming. Both teams are 4-2. Don't get me wrong. Mississippi State is a good team, but I think Florida's looking better than they did earlier in the season. They're getting it done now, and I think Florida wins it on homecoming. At number 23, Air Force at San Diego State. Air Force is, well, they're surprising me. They look good. They're number 23. Right now, I don't think they lose to San Diego State. Air Force wins it. Number 24, Oregon State at Washington. Florida and Oregon State are the only ranked teams that have 2 losses that I know of right now. If it's different, I'll let you know next week. Oregon State beats Washington. I think they're going to beat Washington. So now we get to the segment I like to call Quick Picks. This is when we look at all the rest of the ACC and SEC non-ranked team matchups. I'll give my answer quick. I'm not going to think about it much. So yeah, here we go. Maryland at Clemson. Clemson wins it. Maryland's going to give them a tough time. Clemson will pull it out in the end. Vanderbilt, Georgia. Georgia looked good last week. I'm picking them here. Miami, Duke. Miami is Miami and Duke is Duke. Miami wins. Mid-Tennessee at Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech, with the powerful option, beats Middle Tennessee. Wake Forest at Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech's looking good since their 2 losses early in the season. They beat Wake Forest. North Carolina at Virginia. North Carolina looked good last week against Clemson. I like them here. And North Carolina State at East Carolina. North Carolina State wins it. They're a very, very good team. So that's all my picks for this week. I have a little extra time. I'm going to go over the ACC and SEC the rankings so far. In the Atlantic, Florida State right now is leading the conference. They're undefeated in the conference, followed by Maryland and then North Carolina State. It's looking good so far for Florida State. I like them. In the Coastal, Virginia Tech is actually leading in the conference. They're 2-0 in the conference. Georgia Tech is 3-1. And Miami, Florida is third in the Coastal. I just say that my Tigers are last in the Atlantic. If they won against North Carolina, they would have been better. They're 0-2 in the conference. They're 2-3 all over. But man, Clemson went from high up here. They looked good. They lost to Auburn. They lost to Miami. Then they should have beaten North Carolina last week, and they didn't. They didn't perform in the fourth quarter as the other previous two games. But maybe they'll rebound this week and win out. I hope so. Clemson is my team. You see, I'm wearing orange. I have a few Clemson hats on the wall over here. You see them, Gator Bowl hat. But yeah, to the SEC standings, South Carolina's leading theirs with Florida right behind them, and with Florida right behind them, Vanderbilt and then Georgia. Georgia's going to win this week, and they're going to beat Vanderbilt and hop them in the standings. In the West, LSU is 4-0 in the conference. They're undefeated, right followed by Auburn. Yeah, those are my picks for the NCAA picks for the week of this week, Wednesday, October 16th. Hopefully next week, we will be back outside on the marsh flats of coastal Georgia if the co-host is not too busy cleaning guns to go shoot a deer. I'm going to shoot a deer because I got a gun because I'm a redneck. Thanks, have a good day.